My name is Juan Sepulveda, and I am the host of the Winding Stairs Freemasonry podcast and one of the brothers behind the Winding Stairs Freemasonry group on Facebook. So if you're here joining us live, ideally you've heard this from our group or from a brother who loves you enough to share this opportunity with you. And I want to let you know, what are we doing tonight? Well, tonight we are coming together as brothers to share in a tradition. This tradition, today we were reading on an article in the United Kingdom that Freemasons come together at 9 p.m. whenever they can in order to raise a glass and make a toast to their brethren. And considering the difficulty that not just our nation, but the planet is going through with this global pandemic, we wanted to make sure that those of you who have been socially distant because of the mandates out there or to protect yourself, who may be feeling alone, that you know that you are not alone. You have brothers like us who are thinking about you right now. And we're going to commemorate that practice of coming together and raising a glass for a brother, because there's such beauty in knowing that at any given moment around the world, there is a brother who has you in mind, who may be raising a prayer up to heavens for your safety, for your guidance. And we want you to know that you're not alone and that we are doing that right now. We are thinking about you, and we're thinking about all the brothers who have put themselves in danger's path by many of them being out in the military, many of them being out as first respondents to this pandemic, a lot of the people in leadership who are members of the craft and are going through the difficult time of having to make decisions which outcome is the life and death of their fellow human beings. So in addition to coming together to do a toast for our brethren, we're going to take this opportunity to introduce you to an elite selection of the administrators and moderators of the Winding Stairs Freemasonry group on Facebook. And I'll start introducing to you some of them. You'll get a chance here to do two things: to hear their voice and to see their handsome faces for the first time, unless they've been posting their own faces every Thursday night for a few years in a row.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about those guys.
Okay, good. All right, so let's start over with a brief introduction. Let us know your name, where you're from, your lodge, and just say hello to the brothers who are tuning in to us live. Let's start with Brother Jacob.
Certainly. Jacob Barnard here from Jamestown, North Dakota, Jamestown Lodge number 6. So also teach at the university here. So been quite busy converting classes from in person to online.
Well, thank you for your work of helping young people join our society better than how they met you, ideally, right? Now, next to me here, Brother Al Leathers.
Hey, good evening, everyone. My name is Al Leathers. I'm with St. John's Lodge number 1 in Wilmington, North Carolina, and also a member of Castle Island Virtual Lodge 190 out of Manitoba, Canada. And we wish you all well, and it's good to see you.
Thank you for being with us, Brother Al. Underneath, Brother Blake Leach from just around the corner. Introduce yourself, Brother Blake.
Hi, brethren. I'm Blake Leach from South Burnett Lodge in Kingaroy, Queensland, here to represent the Southern Hemisphere. And because it is only 11 o'clock, I'll be toasting with water because I have to go back to work. But I do wish you all well.
Thank you, brother. Right next to him, Brother Donnie Dillon.
Good evening, brothers. I'm Donnie Dillon. I am a member at Rockingham Union Lodge number 27 in Harrisonburg, Virginia, but I've been traveling in Richmond, Virginia for a few years now. I'm pleased to be able to join my fellow administrators and moderators here this evening to toast not only the craft, but also those brothers that we have not had a chance to see and may not be able to see in person for some time. thanks to our new friend, COVID-19.
Thank you, Brother Donnie. And last but not least, Jason Richards.
Oh, most certainly, most certainly, least one. Hey, everybody, Jason Richards. I'm out of Chantilly, Virginia, member of Acacia Lodge number 16 in Clifton, Virginia, and also a member of a lodge in DC that's dedicated to George Washington University, the Colonial Lodge number 1821. And happy to be here toasting with y'all tonight because it's just so important for us to keep the fellowship going, especially in this time when COVID-19 is like that crazy uncle that's touching people in all the wrong ways and won't ever leave. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight, and keep learning and keep interacting with people over Zoom and YouTube because you're not alone, and you don't have to be alone despite the fact that you're isolating yourself.
That's right. Thank you so much, Jason. And he touches a good point there. The fact that whenever the social distancing started happening, I'm sure that many of you noticed that quickly many opportunities came online for brothers to come together virtually. Now, if this had happened 40 years ago, it would have been virtually impossible for us to continue communicating with this kind of efficiency. But we're very fortunate that we live in a time where technology brings us closer together than ever. This brother down here is on the opposite end of the world. and he's able to join us to commemorate this moment and to bring this message to brothers out there without virtually any delay. It's as if he is sitting right here with us. So we're very fortunate to be living in this kind of time. Now, if you just joined us, please make sure to share this with as many brothers as you can. The link on YouTube, you can share it anywhere, and ideally invite brothers to actually come together and have this moment of remembrance and this moment of solemnity. Now, we will have moments of lightheartedness because we are very friendly with one another, and we know each other real well. This group of brothers right here, for those of you who don't know, they are moderators and administrators of the Winding Stairs Freemasonry group, and as a result, we are all part of a group chat that we interact through every single day. So these are some of the men with whom I interact the most in life. So they've grown really, really close to my heart. Now, I wanted to take a moment to say thank you to all the brothers and friends who have joined us in the chat of the YouTube channel. Right now, I want to say hello to Jim Kaufman, Stacy Roth. We have Jacob Barnard. I know I've heard that name before. Amadeus, one of my closest friends. Brother Sid Vasquez. Who else we got here? Michael DeCane. Probably did not pronounce that right, but I'm Sepulveda to you, I presume. And Bill Schatzman, among many others. So if you have any questions or any comments, go ahead and post those in the YouTube chat. And consider this. In a few minutes, we're going to raise a glass to our brothers. So if you can, grab something. It doesn't have to be alcoholic. Unless you're here in my house. If it is, you will. No, I'm kidding. Have whatever drink you can. It could be water. It could be juice. It could be your favorite spirit. But the idea is that we can come together symbolically in a few minutes and actually raise a glass in memory of the brothers who have been affected by this. Sadly, we've heard news about brothers who have been in the front line of this in Italy, in the Philippines, and I've heard of several doctors who have lost their lives to this virus because they are there giving their life to save others. And it's very tragic, but we have to come together, and we have to do our very best to be the best members of society that we can, and part of that is to offer this support to those who are out there, and to consider some of our obligations and some of our commitments, that when these brothers depart, there are other close family members that remain behind, and in a sense, it's our responsibility to take care of them. So I want to make sure that you are ready to toast with me. I see Amadeus is, I'm not going to reveal his identity, but this brother brought to the table one of my favorite Scotch from Islay, Lefroy. I have bourbon here, so we're representing all kinds of areas in the world. Now, before we go to the toast, so we can give the brothers who are joining us now an opportunity to get their beverage, I wanted to go ahead first and talk about what have you seen happen now that we have this social distancing. And I would like to hear from each of you a positive and a negative. So let's open up with the positive. Have you noticed anything positive that has come out of this? And just let us know what you've seen. Brother Jacob, let's start with you.
Yeah, one thing I've seen, which actually I believe fits in both categories, is simply utilization of technology we have. We have all of these collaborative tools. And a lot of people just, hey, it's something new, uncomfortable, I'm not going to use it. Now, we have to if we want to talk to other people, interact. So we're using this. Also seen some disastrous results of that steep learning curve, but it's forcing people to use these tools that we already have and are already in place. We're not reinventing the wheel here. And so I think that's been a real big positive.
How about you, brother Al?
Well, I think one of the things I see positive is that it reinforces our need as human beings to be with one another. So, the old adage of absence makes the heart grow fonder. I think that's true in this case. So we'll get out on the other end of this, and hopefully we'll be stronger and more united.
Thank you, brother Al. And when you say stronger and more united, it is almost inevitable to see now things are happening in our world that we've never seen before. And the only way for us to actually get through it has been to recognize that this is not a solo game. This is a team effort, and I may not be susceptible, as some people believe, to the condition, or I may feel that I'm fit, that I can withstand it, but I'm making the decision to be responsible and avoid further pushing this out and making other people sick. So I'm doing my part to stay away, to bring awareness to everybody that I can, that we may all, not all, but a big chunk of us are going to get it. But the important thing is that we avoid a swell in the number of people that get it right now, so that we don't overwhelm our health services and for people to die unnecessarily. So let's hear from Brother Blake if he has anything positive that he's noticed as a result of this particular pandemic.
Well, first of all, building on from what Al said, absence making the heart grow fonder, I already feel like I've been missing out on Lodge, and we've not even passed the date where we'd have normal meetings. I just think, oh man, I really want one. But other than that, as rough as it is, as big as the impacts have been, it seems to be setting in place better groundwork for any future problems that may arise. This may not be the worst pandemic we have, but now we're better prepared for anything worse that happens.
Absolutely. And I like how you put it, setting the groundwork. It's like we're building that foundation so that we have a better way to respond to things in the future. So I appreciate that. Brother Donnie, I'm sure that between you and Jason, you're going to run out, maybe. It may be more difficult to find some positives, but what do you think?
Well, I think there's certainly lots of negative things that we could focus on. But I think that some of the really positive things that I've seen, and actually very touching and moving, are times when communities have actually come together more. Seen examples of this with people taking time to open their doors or their windows and applaud doctors, nurses, first responders at a certain time each day, when they go out of their way to put themselves in in potential danger by exposing themselves in order to care for people that are sick, having the community stand by, and they can't go out and they can't help themselves, but they can stand by and they can applaud. I think that's a beautiful thing. Other examples are things, videos that we've seen from Spain and from Italy, where people are coming out of their homes or opening their windows and sharing music, making art together. I think that those are the kinds of things where this tragic situation has really given people a chance to come together and show how they can support each other as a community.
Those are great examples. I've been moved by some of those videos of people singing from the balcony or playing instruments, and this is definitely a time that, especially for those of you who have some sort of talent, whether it's writing, whether it's painting, doing any kind of creation, whether it's video editing, whatever it is that you feel the muses, this is a great time for you to really lean into it and come out the other end as a more productive, more disciplined, more fulfilled creator. I'm taking this advice to heart myself. This right here is a painting that I'm working on. I was inspired by the entire situation and I started working on it. And I've even heard my wife, she said, I love seeing you paint. I've been so busy doing other things, and that the one thing that I feel that I can do the best, I had neglected. So one positive thing that many of you can, those of you who can create different things, lean into the creation process instead of just letting time go by or waiting for things to get better. This is the time to actually, push forward and create your best work if you can. Brother Jason, do you have any positive that you have noticed ever since we started taking the measures that we have to prevent the spread of this disease?
Oh, absolutely. I think if you know me, you know I'm all about Masonic education. So surprise, I'm going to bring it back to Masonic education. I'm going to say one positive thing that I've noticed that's been so incredibly exciting and so incredibly inspiring is seeing the perspectives shift of brethren across the world about doing Masonic education online and virtually. I am on Facebook and I'm seeing brethren who I never thought in a million years would even participate in virtual Masonic education, who thumb their noses at internet research or online research. I see these brethren actually leading online Masonic education classes. And that is crazy exciting. And so I am so excited about just the fact that so many brethren are taking this as an opportunity to thrust Masonic education to the forefront of everybody's mind. There's a group of us in a new group called Refracted Light on Facebook, where we are putting together Masonic education talks and pieces pretty much every single night of the week for anyone who's interested. So go and check that out, because as a brother, you don't have to be alone, and you can have fellowship in Masonic education as much online, if not more, than you had, in your brick and mortar lodges. And so that to me is just so incredibly exciting.
That is absolutely wonderful. I wait.
I think your mic's muted, Juan.
Yeah, I think it was.
There you go.
So I think that's wonderful that there is that openness to Masonic education. From the moment that I started the Winding Stairs, that has been my desire, that we continue to really prioritize Masonic education. That is an important component. Just becoming a Mason is not sufficient. Actually learning and putting to practice the lessons of Masonry is the most important thing that we can do for ourselves and for the people we come in contact with. So I wanted to mention, John Lawrence here in the YouTube chat mentions family time. That is another positive that I think has, especially here in my household, I've spend a lot of time with my children and my wife. She has to work from home right now, so we're all spending time together. And in a sense, it doesn't necessarily feel like we are confined or separated. In a sense, it's like we're having our own time away together. And funny, not funny, but a interesting story. We were scheduled to go on a vacation. We were going to be in Louisiana for a whole week. We were going to leave not this Saturday, but the Saturday before. And unfortunately, we had to cancel. The children were destroyed. They were, one of them was very, very sad. He had been talking to his friends about the trip for weeks, and they were all excited for him and everything. And it was tough explaining to him, like, we're doing this not just, like, we're not doing this to you. We're doing this because we're trying to be responsible about how we spend our time. And we want to make sure that we are not propagating this disease. So let's be cautious. Let's stay home. But not even 2 days passed. And we were having so much time together and so much fun doing board games, watching movies, just chasing around, that they had completely forgotten about the trip. They haven't talked about it. And, I think there has been a positive thing to spend time in family. But just to be mindful of your time, I really appreciate, brothers, the time that you've taken to come here. And in light of life balance and spending time with family, I don't want to take too much more of your time. So I would say if you have a drink ready, let's prepare to say a toast and to raise our glasses. So for the brothers who are watching live, this is the time. This is I'm not even going to tell you what it is. This is symbolic for our brethren. We want to take this moment now to raise our glasses for the unity of our fraternity, for the selflessness that shall embody each and every one of us. May the strength of our conviction and our hard work make a difference in society. The wisdom to make the right decisions and to say the right things at the right time and to avoid saying the wrong things at the tempting time. And the beauty for us to come together as one family. May the great architect of the universe protect and guide each one of you during these difficult times, and give health to all who are here. Salud.
Prost.
I really hope that when we do this, that we don't feel for a second that it's a frivolous thing. The fact that we're really taking the time to create this synchronicity among us and to come together as brothers for the good of the brotherhood and the good of humanity. I think, and I've told my children, this is a moment that is going to, future generations are going to read about this. If reading is a thing, then they're going to learn about this moment. And it is unfortunate that so many people are going to, a lot of people are going to die as a result of this. It's, statistically inevitable that thousands of people are going to leave this earthly realm. But I do hope that we are able to really embrace all of these positive things that we talked about. Anytime that you spend going to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram to find a little escape, there's no escape from the bad news. And I'm not saying ignore the difficult moments, because ignoring a problem is just giving it authorization to come and surprise you in the future. That's all we're doing. But But we have to have balance. We need to make sure that we are allowing ourselves to really be present and focus on the things that we have an influence upon. I feel great pride to share in an effort with these brothers right here, to lead the group that we lead on the Facebook, the Winding Stairs Freemasonry group, because we have an opportunity to share and spread the good news and the good information that comes out of Masonry, and to really encourage everybody to come together as one family and really work hard for the betterment of it. So, brothers, thank you so much for joining me in doing this. I'm honored that you've partaken in this experience with me. And I hope that in your own time, in your own solitude, take a moment. It could be at 9 p.m. every night or every other night, but take a moment to think of your brothers and send out some good vibrations, some good energy, and really have a positive impact on the other members of this great fraternity, and of the world. So thank you for those of you who joined us live. Thank you very much for being a part of the Winding Stairs and for really putting to practice the lessons of Masonry. Remember, that is in what we do, that's the most important thing. Put to practice the lessons of the craft in every way that you can. So until next time, may your steps be firm and your path illuminated as we continue our journey up the Winding Stairs. Good night, brothers.